a force, Fatu. Say his name now.
That was TNA World Heavyweight Champion Joe Hendry making his WWE Royal Rumble debut. Of course, Joe Hendry has really blown up in the wrestling business over the last year or so, really making a name for himself, making multiple appearances in NXT as well. And frankly, probably one of, if not the main people responsible for TNA's rise in significance over the last year or so, which has really kind of gotten to the point, at least in my opinion, where AEW, TNA, I don't know. Which one? I don't know. Before it was clear it was AEW was the second brand. Of course, they have the money to be the second brand. TNA doesn't have the money that AEW does. So I would still say AEW is number 2. As far as like significance, as far as like interest in the brand, as far as the product that the brand is putting out, TNA is kind of kicking butt right now. Kind of kicking butt. And a lot of that is due to their champion, Joe Hendry, who's getting a lot of attention, not just being at the Royal Rumble, but after being at the Royal Rumble was asked by Ariel Helwani to appear on his show to talk about his experience at the Royal Rumble, and Joe Hendry decided to fly himself in to the Ariel Helwani show. Ariel invited him to just kind of talk on the Zoom gimmick or whatever, and Joe Hendry goes, no, for the Ariel Helwani show, you fly in. And Joe Hendry sat in office with Ariel and talked about his Royal Rumble appearance. Check out this clip.
Well, when did you get the call that you would be a part of the Rumble?
So what's interesting is I've been kind of trying to speak this into existence for a long time, and I remember walking into, like, I've got like a training school back home. I walked in after Jordan Grace had done her stint in the Rumble representing TNA Wrestling, and I'd said, you know what? I says, mark my words, I'll be in that next Rumble.
Really?
And yeah, even if it's a subconscious thing, I just feel like when you put something out there to people, you kind of start guiding your actions towards that. And it was a great honor to, now with the partnership between TNA and WWE, it's been amazing for both companies. And, it was a huge honor to represent TNA on that stage.
The call, when you got the call that you were going to be a part of it, what did that feel like? And could I ask who delivered the news to you?
So I heard some rumblings that there was some interest, but it was my boss Ariel who confirmed it to me. But I heard some rumblings, and then when it was actually confirmed, it was like, oh, this is actually happening. So when you get that information, what you then need to think about is you're going, okay, how can I maximize this opportunity? When you're the champion of a company, you're not just thinking about yourself. You're thinking about how can I elevate the company? How can I elevate the championship? You have those considerations. How can I make the biggest impact? How can I, do something that will open up doors for future business?
Look, I'm kind of that guy where if something's starting to get over and everybody's, getting all hyped about it, I'm the guy that takes a step back and goes, I don't know about that. I'll wait and see, and I'll judge this for myself. I don't get on the bandwagon right away, especially when there is a bandwagon. If there's no bandwagon, then I might be the first to get on a bandwagon and be like, you guys got to get on to this guy over here. But sometimes you're a little late to the party. Everybody seems to love Joe Hendry. That reaction that he got at the Royal Rumble shows that the majority of the people in that audience know who he was. Now, TNA doesn't even get that many viewers, so it certainly wasn't people that watch TNA. But and they do. I'm being hyperbolic. But it's the star power of Joe Hendry. It's the virality. It's the way that he was able to get himself out into the social media. And, his NXT appearances obviously didn't hurt either. So as far as everybody, I believe in Joe Hendry and all of that, I'm like, yeah, we'll see. I'm starting to believe in Joe Hendry. I'm starting to believe it's not a gimmick. I sat and listened to this man talk with Ariel Helwani for about an hour, and he was winning me over. And one of his big things was that he manifests things into existence. He manifested his TNA job and his TNA championship win. He manifested his appearance in NXT, and he has manifested his appearance in the Royal Rumble. He said after Jordan Grace was in the Royal Rumble last year, Joe Hendry said, I'm going to be the guy next year. And he wasn't even anywhere near the position that he's in now. He just knew it. He just put it out into existence. So what is he putting out into existence now? Other than I want to work for WWE someday, obviously. And he will. He'll get a job there. He's going to be WWE bound, I assure you. When his contract is up in TNA, he will be in WWE. Especially because he's not super young. He's in his late 30s, like 36, I think he said he was, which is not old, but it's certainly time to move on him. You know what I mean? He's not going to be able to sit out another 3-year TNA contract after this one expires. He's going to have to make that jump. But one of the things that he was putting into the universe from this interview, and he said he's going to speak it into existence, is a match with John Cena. That's right. Joe Hendry is willing into existence a match with John Cena somewhere, someplace, possibly Slammiversary, he mentioned, but really anywhere. And this is just something he just thought up in his own head and just said, I'm going to face John Cena in his last year of existence as a pro wrestler. Never mind the fact that I don't even wrestle for WWE and John Cena's the biggest star that they ever had, and him going to TNA, LOL, yeah, right. But yet, Joe Hendry is seeking to find a way, and I believe he will. Here's Joe Hendry talking about willing a match into existence with John Cena, telling John Cena about this, and what Joe John told Joe John to do. Check out this clip.
And actually, I just couldn't help myself. As soon as I won this championship, I did an interview the next day and just started calling out John Cena. Because, and the same way that I believed that I would be in the Rumble, you know, I'm happy to say it. I'd hand on heart believe that I will wrestle John Cena this year.
Really?
Oh, 100%. There's not any doubt. And I had the opportunity to tell John Cena that as well.
Backstage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a long conversation.
And how was that?
It was awesome. You know, it was awesome. It was, he's the greatest, you know, and I'll share some of it. I won't share it all, but basically what he did say was that fortune favors the bold. And what he made clear is that if I want that match to happen, it's on my shoulders. I got to make it happen. I got to generate the interest to make it happen. And it was almost like a challenge, you know? And aside from that, he gave me some great advice. And, you know, with all the chaos of the Rumble going on, John Cena sat down with me and we had a long, meaningful conversation where he could have, you know, used that time to think about what he was doing. He instead invested the time to talk to me. So I think he sees something in me, but that I have to prove myself now. I have to put myself in a position where me versus John Cena is one of the most compelling matchups in professional wrestling.
I feel like you could do it.
I believe. Like I can. Thank you.
I believe. I really do. I mean, you have willed so much into existence.
So basically, John told him, it's not out of the question, but you need to make this happen. You need to prove that this is a must-see match that the people want. You have to put in the footwork to make this a reality. If you build it, I will come. We don't know what kind of come necessarily, but if you build it, John will come. So it's up to Joe Hendry now to build the hype for such a match with John Cena. And I got to tell you, listening to this guy talk, listening to the way that he talked about interacting with John and getting along with everybody up at the Fed and everything, I fully believe that Joe Hendry will face John Cena before John Cena's career is up. And I don't even put it past John Cena going to TNA. They have this partnership, and it's pretty much just for WWE's NXT brand, but TNA wrestlers in the Royal Rumble. I do not put it past John Cena going, you know what? It's a bucket list thing. He's had a full career. I've never had a match in TNA. Let me go have a match and headline a TNA pay-per-view. I don't know if WWE's got to get a cut of that or what kind of business arrangement gets worked out to have John Cena headline your pay-per-view. But boy, I tell you, John Cena, Joe Hendry, and it could easily just happen in WWE as well, but I actually really do see John Cena going to TNA to have this match. And can you imagine the reality bending? What world do we live in? Is this even real? I got to pinch myself situation that would be to see John Cena standing in a TNA ring, the TNA logo under his feet, the yellow ropes wrapped around him, the small venue, how loud and crazy they're going to get for John. They're not going to boo John. It ain't going to be ECW One Night Stand. Same energy vibes, but definitely not going to be same energy level, but not going to be those vibes of negativity. You know, it's going to be a love fest, and it would be a great match. I'm all for it. And look, I'm Team Joe Hendry. Wouldn't say I'm a fanboy or anything yet. I got to see more. But he's entertaining. He's funny. His little skits that he does, you know, his videos and songs and stuff. It's good stuff. He's a creative guy. He's got his head on straight. He's got a good business sense. This is all stuff I'm picking up from this interview with Ariel Helwani. And I think he's going to fit in great with WWE, and it's only a matter of time before he gets there. In the meantime, he's going to bring TNA to new places. He's going to be the guy that's going to continue to bring TNA up and make that question between, is it AEW or is it TNA? That's the second brand. Second hottest brand in wrestling right now, probably TNA. It's debatable. It's debatable. And a lot of that has to do with Joe Hendry. Of course, we've heard PCO say he doesn't like the new management and that, you know, everything that people like about the roster and the booking and everything is sort of just carried over from Scott D'Amore's booking and everything that he kind of built and set up. Time will tell that too, but Joe Hendry at the top of your card with your world title, not a bad move. Not a bad. Down Tessa Blanchard at the top of your women's card with the world title, maybe a bad move. But Joe Hendry, can't go wrong with Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry, but do you believe in Joe Hendry? And do you believe we will see Joe Hendry face John Cena somewhere along the way before this year is up? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you do, where would you like to see it? That'll be interesting to hear too, because I think he would be awesome in a TNA ring for like a one moment. I mean, it'll be talked about for years and years to come. So do it. Why not? There's zero harm in making a pit stop in TNA on your very last run in professional wrestling. We'll see how it plays out. Peace, love, and pizza. I am your boy, Seth Grimes, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Ooh yeah, thanks for checking out the video. You can check out more great clips by hitting that subscribe button below. Yeah. While you're there, don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to like it if you liked it. Ooh yeah, did it.